Knowledge illuminates your suns. The suns are your hearts. You are awakened. Your essences cause your spirits to radiate. You gain. This is the gift of the Supremes on the inner planes. When we shine, our hearts flow out with personal power and warmth. We radiate the sound of peace. Om, Amen, Amon. We are living manifestations of the divine. To shine means to be cleansed in one's own medium, and to glitter means to illuminate the surroundings. These are the small nuances or ciphers spoken by Amon Ra. He belongs to a group known as the Ra, and these beings urge us to open our hearts, share our love, and bloom flowers. That's why we are known as sunflowers. The Supreme Ra, who is the light of the realms, is projecting the entire order on your planet. Your world will witness the splendor of this order. I'm not moving it. Amazing, it's not moving.
Try the mouse. There you are. There you are. Done.
Okay, let me do it again. Here we are. The Ra group belong to the Interplanetary Confederation of Planets, which comprises 500 planets. The Galactic Confederation is comprised of many different confederations, just as the Interdimensional Federation of Free Worlds is comprised of many galactic federations. This information comes from the channel Carla Ruckert, who published a book, An Ancient Astronaut Speaks, in 1981. The race, calling itself the humble messengers of the law of one, landed on Earth 11,000 years ago with a mission to help the evolution of mankind in the Holy Land, Egypt, the Mayan civilization. They are essentially light beings with individual identities who can materialize and are aspiring to a seventh density social memory complex. That's a bit of a mouthful, just to give you the idea that they work in unison through telepathy. They work with the Ashtar Command. I don't know if you are familiar with the Ashtar Command. The Ashtar Command are the mothership that is patrolling our world and ready to take us off at the drop of a hat. The commander is Sananda, who we also know as Jesus. Under the guidance of the Saturnian Council to protect our world, when in manifestation, their high vibrations give the aura of a golden luster. The techniques of the Ra include healing mind, body, and spirit with crystals. In these times, they communicate via dreams, visions, and meditation. The knowledge book there it is. The knowledge book is the voice of the Galactic Federation, brought through by Mevlana. Amon Ra is one of the messengers in the book. Now, you'll see at the end of each chapter, they give you the name of the galactic that is responsible. Always Amon Ra is clear. The sources from which the messages dictated to the knowledge book are taken are in operational ordinances connected to the essence main source that serves directly under the service of the Federation. This book was written prior to all the religious guidance given to the world and comprises the total frequency of all the sacred books and the celestial frequencies. It is the fourth order of the Lord, which could only be released when the consciousness of humankind had risen to receive it, and be recognized by those on the path of Ra. Apparently, the moment our essence hearts of sun-like consciousness are switched on, we are recognized by them.
And when does that happen, Penny? Penny?
Yeah.
When does our heart get switched on?
The moment we serve others, integrate our hearts and minds in service, and most of us here are already healers, teachers. We are in service and have been by soul guidance from the beginning. You understand you are on track, guys. In fascicule 24, Amon Ra addresses Mevlana. Through this book, you are introducing us and our order to your planet as the pen of the friends in the advanced dimensions, and you are unifying the religions that have deviated from the viewpoint of our Lord. He admits that Mevlana's mission is difficult. He says it's like navigating a ship at a seashore without water. There is a supreme plan for a golden age, governed by a supreme mechanism, administered by the Golden Galaxy. Amon is the director of the Golden Galaxy Empire. He is the emissary of the World Lord. The speciality of the cosmic currents showering your planet during this cosmic age is to make verdant the seeds within the essences. The Ra are determined to grow a garden of sunflowers. Guys, the cosmic currents are bombarding us, mostly at 3 in the morning. So if you're not sleeping, and if you're getting headaches and neck aches, it's the cosmic currents, folks. You cannot heal them by medical means. You just have to open your minds and hearts and keep doing what you're doing. And you will allow the engraftment as gently as possible. Of course, the purer you are in a body, the easier it is. You know, if you are vegetarian, it helps. But she's not saying that we need to give up meat. Some of us have to. So just to keep ourselves as light and as balanced as possible. And those of us who are healers must look after each other. It's really important because we can get a bit carried away. The expression sons is used as a general term for all awakened consciousnesses. All the sons are under the command of Altona, the land of Amon. One goes from the golden light year to Altona, from there to the golden moon, and from there to the golden galaxy. Each reflects on the other. It's too high a frequency for us to see. They don't allow us to come in or to be subjected to that. We'd probably melt. Amon Ra says that he resides in the single galaxy connected to the telekinesis system, through which they communicate to all galactic systems. All thoughts are coded there by automatic logic. That which constitutes these universes and galaxies are the vibrations and reflections of these realms of sound and color. Altona is the musical universe. All sound has color, all color has sound. The musical universe is 7 main sounds: do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The second do is a transition link to this descending and ascending scale. Each of these sounds has thousands of nuances, just like in colors. Colors and sounds are always one inside the other. Each sound has a color, each color has a sound, just like universes and galaxies rotating one inside the other to constitute the atomic whole. The creators of this magnificence in the second universe sparked the dispersion of the ball of energy which formed our Earth. I'm not going to explain. Second universe is where we come from, folks. We do not come from this planet. Let me just make that clear. So let me give you a bit of our history. The frequency of our Earth is equivalent to the first do of the musical universe. Although it seems very low in the scale, its importance in the universe is huge, and this is why. The first energy ball that was closest to the second universe and that cooled and thus crusted is your world, on which you live at the moment. For this reason, your world was used as a laboratory planet. By this means, the initial formation project of the atomic whole and the soul seeds took into effect the program of spreading out from your world. Since your world is the mother of the universes and the cosmoses, it carries a very great value in the opinion of the totality for this reason. The ancestors of the Atlanteans formed the Atlanta laws and applied the project of mutation on our world. The project of mutation is the theory of Darwin in the origin of the species. Animals mutate one from the other according to environmental demands. We do not come from them. Darwin only had part of the story. It does not have understanding of the whole earth. Those whom the Creator brought into existence are called Adam kind. Those who are brought into existence by the Adam kind, who came into existence from the second universe, are called humankind. We are ancestors of the Atlanteans, created by them with their genes. We are not ape. We are much more highly evolved beings with far more talents. And the original humans seated on the planet were the gods of mythology. The Greek gods were real. They were the great giants and magnificent creatures of the earliest times of humankind on the planet. And they were gifted with clairvoyance and clairaudience. The Greek myths were not a fiction.
Yeah, it's true.
To understand the rainbow of Altona and its reflected light, we need to understand the nature of our advanced creators, who established the solar system and hold the powers of unknown technology in their hands. The ancestors of the Atlanteans were very gifted and advanced technologically and established the Atlantis civilization. It is their grandchildren who have administered the universal orders. They divided into two classes, the teaching staff, who were men of religion, and the governing staff, who served under their light. Some gave up the universal energies attracted through the brain and lost their essence values, their essence virtues. They divided into classes and established different civilizations. Those who established the underwater civilization about 2 billion years ago established Atlantis. The cause of destruction of Atlantis is just like that of the Sodom and Gomorrah period. They behaved contrary to universal law. Due to the degenerative influence of generations belonging to the same blood and genes, and the decline due to loss of their natural powers, they were annihilated by the influence of advanced technological powers. That's when the meteorites hit the Earth and caused the flooding and subsequent burning of the planet and subsequent ice age. This was all done by natural means, by technological powers. 600 emissaries of God, the priests who took shelter in the temples, were saved. They are the writers of 600 books on various cultural and scientific subjects who serve on our planet right now. Alice Bailey, one of them, who brought through the Tibetans' work. These are 600 books to guide us into the future. And it was the Tibetan who said the World Brotherhood Union will be formed before the end of the 19th century. And he didn't know where it would be, but it's Istanbul, meeting place of East and West. It makes total sense. The Ra, foresaw the coming of the final destruction of Atlantis and advised the spiritual community to leave. Many fled to Egypt. It was then that the Anunnaki brought technology to Earth in the form of the Ark of the Covenant from Sirius. Now I must tell you guys, Credo Mutwa, who was should have been the spiritual leader of South Africa, said that all the Zulus come from Sirius. Did you hear that? You all come from Sirius. Oh, blimey. Anyway, folks, that's just the beginning. This Ark of the Covenant was like a psychotronic generator or mini nuclear reactor charged by mental power that transmuted high-frequency energies. Many Atlantean initiates used small replicas of it, instruments which could cut through stone and dematerialize objects. This device could be used for healing or as a weapon of war. It was worn around the neck and could also be used as a laser beam. By using the Ark of the Covenant and incorporating a staff with an ankh on it, they created tunnels beneath the pyramids. It was misuse of this technology by the offspring of the Anunnaki, the Anu, in relationship to the great crystal that destroyed Atlantis. Disaster happened when the sons of Belial, as they were called, the lords of materialism, gained too much power. To heal the residue of these imbalances, a supreme one migrated to Egypt from Eastern Europe. He was High Priest Ra-Ta. You'll recognize him. You see him? This is Edgar Cayce. In 11,016 BC, 300 years before the massive earth changes in Atlantis, a white race under the rule of a man named Arat lived in the Caucasian mountains of Eastern Europe. One of his priests, Ra-Ta, prophesied that his tribe, the Zu, would march on Egypt and rule the kingdom of King Rai to quell the political turmoil there. It was a center of mass migration from India, Mongolia, and Atlantis with Atlantean slaves, which were unfortunate genetic mutations of half animal, half human origin. Ra-Ta became the high priest of Egypt, who taught belief in the one God as opposed to the worship of multiple gods. He was responsible for the creation of the Temple of Sacrifice, a hospital for the correction of deformities on a physical and spiritual level, and the Temple of the Beautiful, a school for higher learning and vocational training. This Ra member reincarnated as the sleeping prophet Edgar Cayce and is currently believed to be David Wilcock. I'm sure a lot of you know that. The rays from the Ark of the Covenant could cause the nullification of gravity. 10,000-pound stones could be levitated into the air. A 1-pound rock could be made to weigh 10,000 pounds. These skilled initiates moved to live in the inner earth, taking their devices with them, and sealed the entrances against the flood waters. The people of the hollow earth are descendants of the Egyptians and Atlanteans. They follow the orders of Melchizedek, who was a previous incarnation of Jesus, and trained Abraham in the understanding of monotheism. Folks, are you aware that Abraham's the father of the Palestinians and the Israelis? It's one root. This is tragic, what's happening now. It's all because of religious differences. It's absolutely disastrous. Among those that settled in Egypt was one of the great teachers, Thoth. He is also Hermes, Mercury of the Greeks, and Eros, Shames, an incarnation of the Buddha, and spiritual master of the highest order. This comes from the Egyptian Mysteries by Joshua Stone, written in 1995. Thoth is depicted as the ibis-headed Egyptian god of wisdom, keeper of knowledge that opened the door to immortality. He worked with positive beings from Sirius, the Pleiades, and the Great White Brotherhood. According to Edgar Cayce, the construction and engineering of the Great Pyramid was done by Thoth between 10,490 and 10,390 BC, assisted by Archangel Metatron. Metatron was responsible for the Kabbalah, the Jewish ancient mystery, and other spiritual beings. In the book The Origin and Destiny of Man by Little Robinson, Edgar Cayce is quoted. Then with Hermes and Ra, they began the building of that now called Giza. That was to be the hall of the initiates of that sometimes referred to as the White Brotherhood. The Great Pyramid was created in such a way as to be perfectly aligned with the cosmic currents of the solar system and the great central sun itself. The knowledge book elaborates, the secret of the pyramids is the secret of the universe. The secret of the universe is the secret of the human, and the secret of the human is concealed on your planet. The greatest reflection triangle is the triangle of Egypt, India, and Japan. Egypt is the focal point of the secret of our ancestors, all concealed, and is gradually being uncovered now by the guys who have the intuition to read the language. So they are the sons of the sun, and Egypt is the peak of the triangle. India is the focal point of faith and thought, the home of practitioners of Eastern philosophy. Japan, the channel of the central sun system, is the focal point of cognizance, intelligence, and logic. So there we see that's the main triangle that's guiding us now. In Egyptian, Ra means God, symbolized by the solar deity. In the Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly Palmer Hall, he writes, among the Egyptians, Osiris, Ra, Anubis, Hermes, and even the mysterious Amon himself had points of resemblance with the solar disk. Amon or Amun was elevated to principal god amongst the Theban tutelary deities by Amenemhat, the number one, who founded the 12th dynasty in 1985 BC. Amun, meaning invisible one, was god of the wind and ruler of the air. During Hatshepsut's reign, many temples, property, lands, personnel, and resources were controlled by priests, all dedicated to Amun. This domination was highly detrimental to the well-being of Egypt. The priests were so rich to the detriment of everyone else, and they wanted multiple gods because they could then have many ceremonies and they could then get all the wealth from the poor. And of course, Moses was the first. Moses actually was Akhenaton, the fourth, who brought through the teachings of the one God. So Hatshepsut was completely above her strata. She gave her daughter Neferuri the title of God's wife of Amon and married her to Tutmosis II. Hatshepsut then assumed rule of Egypt, wearing the regalia of a pharaoh and a false beard. To erase her memory, Tutmosis III subsequently destroyed all statues and monuments of Hatshepsut, but the title of God's wife of Amon lived on. Only 2 obelisks built for her survive, and the temple of Karnak, which was built for Amon Ra. Egypt reached the height of fame and power in the period of Amenhotep II, Tutmosis IV, and Amenhotep III, and it was during that time that they seriously considered getting rid of the priests. The Ra chose to assist Amenhotep I, Amenhotep IV, who ruled as Pharaoh of Egypt from 1367 to 1350 BC. during the 18th dynasty to bring through the monotheistic law of belief in a single God called Aten. Now, Aten comes from the Jewish word for my Lord, Adonai. I means my, Adon is Lord. Adonai, my Lord. The Egyptian changes the D to a T and the O to an N. Aten is Adon. So Aten is my Lord. By promoting the cult of Aten, Akhenaten threatened the balance of power. He had both a political and philosophical motive for reforming the vast pantheon of gods. He saw the sun not as a god, but as the most perfect symbol of the Almighty. That's why you see in Akhenaten's time the symbol of the sun as a representative of Almighty, not the sun god. The Ra helped create the Great Pyramid of Giza for spiritual initiation purposes into the belief in the Almighty. This initial pyramid was designed to rest upon the ley lines or electrical group points of the planet. It is the geographical center of the Earth and was the receiving center for cosmic energy and a transmitting device for Earth's Kundalini. So it was the meeting point for the Kundalini coming up from center of Earth and the vertical flow from source. Floating in suspension above it was a capstone of copper or lapis-lazuli. It was a huge crystal on top of the capstone of lapis-lazuli. Around the crystal was a border of pure gold. The capstone contained an Ark of the Covenant, actually floated in space slightly above the pyramid because of the tremendous currents of energy that were flowing up from the center of the Earth. The pyramid also served as an insulation chamber for the Ark of the Covenant, so that the general population would not be endangered by the incredible spiritual force it generated. The Egyptian priests were so antagonistic to this creation that they distorted it, and the pyramid is currently referred to as a piano out of tune. All the pyramids were built with the same purpose in mind: massive generators of energy. The Mayan and the Indian and the Tibetan and Incan, all of them the same purpose. Once Akhenaten was deposed, his brother-in-law Sennacherib became pharaoh, and he was assassinated in favor of Tutankhamun, who made the cult of Amon the official religion of the empire. When Akhenaten was deposed, Tutankhamun made Thebes the capital of Egypt. Amon's status rose to that of patron of the pharaohs, and as Amon Ra, he was associated with the great sun god Ra. He is also known as Amen, and identifies with Zeus and Jupiter. It says in the knowledge book that during the Egyptian period, Tutankhamun had been the direct missionary of the plan as the essence emissary of the unified reality. He received knowledge from a triangle of Tutankhamun. We are now under the special supervision of 3 energy dimensions. So Egypt is Tutan, Krishna, the K is Krishna from India, and the third is the Om, right? This is the energy which beamed through Tutankhamun in his time. Tutankhamun was served by priestesses who remained celibate. A high priestess had royal status and ruled the priests, who owned 160 towns in Egypt and 9 in the Middle East. Amon is depicted as a man on a throne, the body the color of lapis-lazuli, a precious stone signifying his great wealth and status. The crown has 2 ostrich feathers divided into 7, which denotes his ruling of North and South Egypt. He also had powers of a magician, healer, protector against lions, snakes, and crocodiles, and could preserve corpses. Amon states that Egypt discovered all the knowledge. However, your globe was not yet able to enter the necessary magnetic medium it had to enter. In other words, it was not able to settle in the universal evolvement code. For this reason, the command to destroy the library at Alexandria was given, and the knowledge that was all burnt. It was too high. It had all the knowledge of UFO, transport, and nuclear, so it could not be captured. Amon Ra says, the evil intentions of your world can destroy your planet one day, for we can immediately direct back to your world any attack made towards us. Amon is referring to HAARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, a project launched in Alaska, USA, on the grounds of defense, and another dangerous Australian project, Pine Gap, blasting directly into the Earth. Now, Cryon gave the same warning through Lee Carroll in America in 1996, and Cryon said, "We tell you that your technology on this continent is so powerful at this point in time that the experiments within the confines of the skies of your country will absolutely affect all countries. So we say to you, slow down until you understand fully what you're doing. Do not undertake these kinds of powerful experiments without seeking the advice of the others on the planet who share your same atmosphere. This project utilizes Tesla high-frequency radio energy injected into the ionosphere to create huge low-frequency virtual antennas to disrupt any oncoming missiles or electronic devices. It's like a gigantic microwave oven blasting holes into space and boiling the upper atmosphere with no understanding of the damage or repercussions. So what we send out, we get back, folks. Do we wonder that we had a tsunami from Australia in 2004 and our planet has been burning with uncontrolled wildfires? There are several totalities observing these iniquities. Amon is one of the founding members of a council formed to prepare humanity for the Golden Age. The Council of 18 assembled on what they call the Better Lux planet is called Basui. That's just the capital letters for peace, love, hope, and humanity, for humanity. The 18 members of Basui introduce themselves in the knowledge book and tell us where they are specifically working on the planet. Some in India, some in the USA, some in Uganda. They're all over the place, directly connected. The responsible ones of the Golden Light Year are the residents of the Golden Galaxy Empire, directed by Amon Ra. Now, Amon stands for A, represents the Unified Council of the Realms. M represents the Egyptian Karina, which is the path of Amon. O represents the Lordly Order, Naught. N represents the spiritual plan and the ordinances and council of laws. So Amon is really a symbol for all of those activities. The supervision of the Golden Galaxy totality is in fact administered by a trinity known as Amon Ra, Amon, and Ramon. I'm not going to elaborate more on that. There you can see these are the three energies that are actually Amon Ra, and it's similar to the energies that are impacting on our planet. You know, like the Christians talk about the primary forces being Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. It's all the same as one energy. And the Hindus talk about Vishnu, Rama, and Shiv. That's all one force. And in the knowledge book, you read about Angel Gabriel as being the messenger, the eternal messenger of all time, and Ali is his name in the Middle East, and Mustafa Mullah to the Turks. That's all Archangel Gabriel. It's one being. Okay, just so you don't get confused when you read it. Okay. actual golden galaxy empire is a very big planet. It's called the Land of Eagles. The Land of Amon is the collective founding system of the Ra order. This is called Amon Ra. The system operates by a six-fold flower system. Six-fold flower system is how the forming of the console works. You start with 3, and then you open up to another, and you end with 6, and so it goes in the formation of a flower. This is the dimension of the All-Merciful. This is a galaxy within the 6th solar dimension. Even the most powerful telescopes have not been able to spot this galaxy, and they will never do so because it's covered by a protective magnetic aura of light. The planet Saturn is used as the projecting focal point. Saturn is a radar base and transmitting station. Now, the Golden Galaxy is the very special single projecting focal point, and it's made of pure gold. It's an artificial satellite. Its in essence nucleus is 28 karat gold. This gold is as soft as gold leaf. It's like an accumulator made of special mineral and metal alloys. The base is in connection with the galactic dimensions and all universal orders. It's both a collecting and projecting focal point. This place can never be seen from our world medium. Another golden universe reflects this brilliance. You understand the importance of gold into the galactics? The reason why our planet, and specifically the place of gold, Monomatapa, where the Zimbabwe ruins is, are lived in by the Anunnaki. Did you know that? Zimbabwe is special, and the gold seam runs right down through South Africa to Zimbabwe, where the golden lions are. And you understand the golden lions came in with the Anunnaki at the time of the Ice Age. That's why they're white. Do you get it? I mean, there's a huge, you could write a whole story on that. But Zim is key on the Nilotic meridian. Yeah? Altona is the universe of music. It is the direct reflectant center of the Golden Galaxy Empire. It has a special place in the universal mechanism as a focal point of all the vibrations. Its quintessence is gold. This gold is very fluid. Here, gold is an ore obtained not by natural means, but by different bindings of atoms. Here, everything is based on gold. This is due to gold's being a very pure and powerful conductor of energy. Here, mostly 28 karat gold is used. However, even though this gold is like foil, its hardness is provided by a different technique without giving way to any alteration in its atoms. That is a quote directly from the knowledge book. The color of the Altona sun is purple. The sun never sets, only the colors change in waves, and the reason for this is the reflection of other galactic dimensions on the Altona. For this reason, this place here is like the inside of a prism. Colors and sounds are interminable in this dimension. A universal prism will come into being when the emanated rays find their places in society and begin to reflect. When we become light beings, guys, we're going to create a universe of light. When we are pure enough and our essences are connected to the mechanism of influences, we will be recognized in our light bodies by those with the open third eye. We are told that the supreme ones with these qualities are descendants from the Egyptian Karina of the 5th dimension, and they are on our planet at the moment. People of the Golden Galaxy are not known by names. They communicate by brainwaves and are recognized by color. Travel is made by thought and beaming without need for vehicles. The thought speed of a moment as unveiled awareness is quicker than the speed of light of 7 suns. There is a strong magnetic field, but no pressure in the atmosphere and no climatic change. Their homes of constant temperature are crystal pyramids with furniture of pure gold. Tastes of food resemble ours, but fruits are tastier, without seeds, and are replaced the moment they are picked. Rivers of mineral mixtures tasting of wine provide the drinks. So you can understand, folks, we'd all be as merry as can be. This mixture changes its formula by the body temperature and provides a golden blood for the circulatory system. As a result, they appear serene and sparkling with the breath of flowers, predominantly of rose. Clothing is of a very durable plant fiber in white, yellow, purple, and the varied hues of nature's leaves. In comparison to them, we resemble ants. They can assimilate the language of any of the galactic mediums they visit, and in this way, under the command of Amon, they reflect all the messages in the knowledge book via the channel of Altona. And that all gets reflected by the telekinese system, which you cannot receive a mistake. Mevlana cannot make a mistake in what she has written. She asked them if she could write it in a different language because she's a poet. She wanted to put it down, more beautifully. And they said, you may not alter a single word. Humans are too idle. They need it difficult. So, that must have been hard for her. This is us in the future and our range of colour. Those who can kindle the light in their spirits and their essences find their way by means of this light. We only get in touch with individuals who have found their way by their own consciousness. We illuminate them on this path and enlighten them. God has created the human, and the human has created himself, herself. Each of you is a free spirit, a free awareness. You yourselves will pick up the stones on your path, not us. We knock on your door only if you keep your doorway clean. The air of your planet will suffocate those who breathe this air. Johannesburg's more threatened than you guys. For there is a density there that your energies cannot bear. Now, all these endeavors are investments to scatter this density. Those that are focused on lifting us into salvation belong to the central sun system. All dimensions calling out to you from the universal ordinance of the realms convey to you the knowledge under the supervision of the central sun system. The actual focal point of the sun system is a totality of preeminent ones. These are an assembly of 48 supreme ones. Japan is directly connected to central sun system. So guys, not be surprised that they lead the way in the latest technology, the drones and the absolute incredible manifestations visually of dragons in the sky and all that. They're out of this world. The central sun dimension will come into effect as an assisting power for you during the difficult circumstances of your world. It's a totality possessing a very intense energy transfer that will stand as a protector to all the living beings on your planet. This dimension will give all the knowledge beyond Omega, the scientific channel, and makes this declaration. This is what they're asking us to do. First, integration. Please, all of us, no barriers between us based on nationality, color, culture, language. It's got to go. The truth, later unification. You shall know thyself, you shall love the human, you shall not disparage anyone. You shall know the unity of Allah. Allah is just the tonal name for God. You shall not divide the totality. You shall unify with the one who brings you the voices. You shall reach the universal totality and consciousness. You shall go through heaven, heaven's only the fourth dimension, and shall discover the system. Later you will attain the sun and become one with it. Only afterwards shall you step into salvation. You shall reap the reward of your perseverance on this path. According to the Union of Central Suns, those who accomplish their examinations up to the 23rd century are card indexed to the New World, which is known as Beta Nova. And all those animals and people who are making sacrifices for our planet now, and we think of the babies in Israel, are going direct to Beta Nova. Folks, there's no death. Where are we? They will return to the world as unveiled awarenesses in the 23rd century and lay the foundation of God's fourth order. We are them. We are already there. We are told that all of us are the sons and daughters of God with an essence gene which connects us to the universal potential. One day, we will be able to live easily in other galaxies and solar systems without a need for further engraftments. We are receiving the triple-waved collective consciousness currents of the golden galaxy dimension to prepare us for knowledge of more evolved dimensions, and these are the ones causing us head and neck aches. Your planet that has lost many of its qualities from the material, moral, and natural viewpoints is receiving help from the authorized powers to be restored again. We can't stop this, guys. It's happening regardless. In the same breath that Amon says, wait in serenity, each event is for the benefit of your planet. Our love is infinite. We are later reminded your planet has no more time to waste. He encourages us with this affirmation. Each of you are present in your world as a spokesperson of the emissaries of the ancient periods. We are the ancients reincarnated. You carry our essence lights. You are fighting for a beautiful world with your moral powers. As the essence emissaries of the Golden Age, you are laying the foundation of the Golden Age by your golden consciousnesses. Thank you, folks. Thank you so much for listening.